Hi, Diva. It's Rachel.
And Jordan. Yeah, hi. Quick question.
Why are you not spending your Venmo balance?
Yeah, we're concerned.
You can, buy stuff with it.
Ugh, you love buying stuff.
And earn cash back on eligible purchases.
You love purchasing eligible things.
So the money your friend sent you yesterday, that's today's ramen or rideshare or eye patches.
The skincare kind, not the pyro kind.
Spend with Venmo, then you can earn cash back with Venmo Stash. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 cash back per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. ID verification required to use a Venmo balance.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I never thought I'd see the day, but yesterday I got back from Washington, UFC fight, and I looked up and no Carlos, the engineer, producer at the board. He's always there. Always. The most reliable thing. Except yesterday. What the hell happened to you? There's all kinds of talk. You all right?
No, I'm good. I was stuck in Chicago.
Like, what do you mean by stuck in Chicago?
There were no flights going east because of some weather conditions above Ohio and Indiana. Like, no flight. Everything was canceled that's Sunday night.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I knew it had to be something solid. I knew it was something solid. What were you doing in Chicago, by the way?
I was visiting an old college friend.
Male or female?
Male.
Oh. Just a buddy, right?
Yeah, old roommate too. Like he's married to. I was like a how would you say, groomsman at his wedding back in 2022.
All right, very nice. Well, we knew that it had to be something, and there was that weather. We were afraid of the weather a little bit. It delayed things a little bit at the UFC. You know, I was at UFC on Sunday. Did you see me on TV? Did you see me?
Nope.
A lot of people saw me on TV, fist bumping people. Oh, shut up! Phil's shaking his head. I fist bumped the guy who won the whole damn thing. I was right there. I made it. I showed everybody. You haven't seen it? This is the guy I fist bumped, all right? Ready? And by the way, he was the most gracious guy of the night. Gracious. He thanked the man who made it all happen. Cut 6, please. Bo Nickel is his name. Cut 6.
First and foremost, got to thank President Trump for making this happen. Thank you, Dana, all the UFC, everybody. This is unbelievable. It takes such a special person to be able to have the balls to do something like this, and I have so much respect for him. I've, had that for a long time, and I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be a part of it.
Very nice. So there's this hoopla about the guy who made a joke about Michelle Obama. I heard it, I didn't really think much of it. It just kind of came and went. There's this campaign going to get the White House to condemn the comments. You must condemn what you heard. They're asked to condemn things all the time. You got to condemn this. You got to condemn that. You got to put out a statement on this, on that. And I'm pretty sure that the White House has a policy now. You know what? People can just talk. All right, we're not going to condemn. It's not our job to go around monitoring everybody, what they say, and condemn it. And by the way, when you condemn, it's a pretty harsh word. And sometimes it's appropriate. But when you condemn things, you also, what do? Elevate them. You elevate them. You make it a bigger deal than it actually was. So here's the guy. And I was standing right there. And part of me is like, well, didn't we already discuss this? Do I actually think that Michelle Obama is a man? Here, I sent this to you. I personally don't. I don't. I can usually tell. I can tell. I can always tell, actually. And Michelle is not a man. She's got a lot of problems, but now the big thing is, well, where are the pictures of her when she was pregnant? And no one has ever seen a picture of her when she was pregnant, I'm told. Well, I've only seen a couple of pictures of my wife when pregnant, but she was pregnant in 2022 and like recently. And guess what we had? Cameras cameras all over the place, cameras in our pockets. You didn't have that in 1992. That's when they got married. I don't know when they were born, 94, 95. We did not sit around and take pictures. I think there's a picture of me like one day in flight school and then the day I graduated flight school. And there were like 400 flights in between. I could have been taking pictures. I didn't because we didn't do that back then. All right, so here's the guy. What's his name? His name is Josh Hockett. Apparently, he's a bit of a bad boy in the UFC. There are a lot of bad boys. That's okay, right? Now, Phil knows. Phil knows. This is something he knows about. It's good to know something about, one thing. Phil's great in all kinds of aspects. All kinds. All kinds. So here we go. Here's Josh Hockett. Go ahead.
Alex Pereira, I want a shama on your mama. And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
All right. Didn't it go over too big in the crowd? I laughed. I was like, whoa, why? Then I moved on. It's not that big a deal. And people are allowed to say stuff. People are allowed to be obnoxious. People are allowed to be nice. People are allowed to be pleasant. People are allowed to be ornery. This is America as we celebrate democracy and freedom. By the way, I'm a little bit sick of the word democracy. We are a republic. Our friend Barbara out there on Long Island said it this way. What is a democracy? All right. It's 3 wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner. Huh? The lamb is going to lose every time. We can't have that. We can't have majority rule sometimes because what happens when the majority goes a little bit nuts? That's why we have our founding fathers, and they realize our rights come from God, and certain rights are inalienable, and you can't vote them out of fashion. You can't vote them out, right? Just because they don't like it. Hey, the other thing is this. It's already happening, folks. Listen to, this is CNBC, and they know it. They know it. Stock market, they know it. You can always, they don't have time. And they don't have interest in fake news. They have interest in money. Cut 9, please. Cut 9.
Just look at the price action today because WTI did briefly cross below that $80 level, taking us back all the way to March, basically erasing all of that geopolitical risk premium that was built in.
She talked pretty quick because time is money. They don't have time. It's all back to pre-invasion, not invasion, but pre-military action levels. Right back. It's almost as if this war had never happened. And that's great. What else is going on in terms of the politics today? I talked to Burt Jones last night, Republican running for governor of Georgia against Jackson, who apparently is a big rhino and big Trump hater, one of those closet Trump haters. He's probably going to win, although it wasn't a blowout. It's the runoff today. And Mike Collins, we think, is going to win the primary for U.S. Senate, and then he'll go up against Jon Ossoff. How is it that Jon Ossoff was elected anything? Talk about somebody who is just not nice, not interesting, not smart, not anything. But he is rich. He is rich, and that's there are a lot of things you got to be to make it in politics. Charming it's nice, but it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. If anybody remembers Jerry Seinfeld, of course we remember Jerry Seinfeld, and we kind of like him, actually. We kind of like him. I like him. He makes a lot of good points. He showed up at the Oval Office once when Obama was president, and they had one of those great episodes of comedians in cars getting coffee. And it was a great concept. They went for a ride on the White House property in one of Jerry's crazy, retro, expensive, but old refurbished cars. I'm not sure how much you're going to hear about, but Jeffrey Seinfeld knocks on the window of the Oval Office and Obama waves him in. Cut 8, please. Cut 8. It's Seinfeld on the window at the Oval Office. Obama waves him in, like, go to that door over there. Walks in the door.
You ready? I got some stuff to do.
Are you ready? We're going to go for our ride. Jeffrey's just screwing around in the Oval Office, lays down on the couch, starts eating the apples that you're not supposed to eat. Oh my gosh, how could they do that with the Oval Office? It was funny. It was cute. Even if you don't like Obama, it actually worked. It actually worked. You know what? This is, I hear Biden say, oh, this is sacred ground. This is solemn ground. No, it's not. It's actually a building where people come to work, and they work for us, the people. One other thing, I still can't get over it. We had chaos here in New York City. I mean, absolute chaos. We had terrorism on Sunday night. I'll make that Saturday night when the Knicks won. I could give a hoot at this point. I really could give a crap. I mean, the way they behaved, the fans don't deserve a ticker tape parade. They don't deserve anything. And we have to get change, to get improvement, there's a duty in the media to apply pressure on these punks who hold public office. You got to abuse them after a night like that. You got to make them pay. And why is that? Not gratuitous, not sadistic, but so that they respond better the next time. Because a lot of people don't like being criticized. So this guy gave up the city on Saturday night. So Sunday, there should be hell to pay. There should be real, okay, what the freaking hell was that about, Mayor? Cut 11, please. Cut 11.
Got the Knicks, please. Woo! What time did you go to bed? 1:30. They tried to keep me out. 3:45. Oh, my God. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, we've been waiting for this moment 53 years. And 1999, last time we were in the finals, Rick Brunson was on that team. To have his son be Captain Clutch, bring us this championship. What a moment. We've been waiting for this for 53 years, and it just feels like the entire city is alive. The biggest city in the country feels like the smallest town in the world.
And where's the other one? Where's the other one when he was even happier? I think this is another one. Cut 16, please. Cut 16. Is this the other one? Is this the other one? Try that one, okay?
What an incredible night. What an incredible morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you again. Did you get any sleep?
I went to sleep at 3:45 a.m. and like most New Yorkers, woke up asking myself, did that really happen? People have been waiting for this for 53 years. And there have been so many heartbreaks, so many near misses, so many years, every year where we've told ourselves it's the year. And for it to actually happen now, I mean, there's nothing more we can ask for as New Yorkers.
How about public safety? What about fire trucks? What about cops? What about order? And they gave up Times Square to tens of thousands of people. And the police commissioner, the feckless police commissioner who just wants to be an important person, her name is Jessica Tisch, and she's terrible, just let it happen. After all the big talk, how we're not going to let anything happen. Well, anything happened. City school buses, city regular buses bashed and destroyed. The worst thing was the bicycles on the top. I've never seen a bicycle on top of a bus. Have you? That was an eye-opener. All right. What's going on in Alabama in terms of politics? I know Georgia, but there's something going down in Alabama. These are not races that people are on the edge of their seat about, right? They're not going to influence control of the Senate or the House or anything like that, all right? Nothing is moving. Nothing is even potentially moving. But he would like to keep his streak up. He'd like to keep his streak up, and that would be pretty cool if he can make it. If he can make that happen. Anybody have any self-help tips? I just talked to Jay Jackson, and he put it to me this way. Jay Jackson from Abacus Global Management. If you are too lazy to exercise, which I am, very much am, but if you want to live long, you have to lift weights. So when you start lifting weights, you are adding days. Like every time you lift weights, you're adding a few days to your lifespan. I really think of it this way, thanks to him and thanks to others. And if you can control your weight, you'll also be able to live longer. And seeing President Trump at his birthday on June 14th, the day before yesterday, it reminded me of something. A couple of things I noticed. Nobody sang happy birthday. They didn't make a big deal out of that. You know why? Because President Trump doesn't make a big deal out of his age. He's pretty chillax about it. old people jokes and that kind of crap. There are a lot of countries where they don't do that. They actually revere people when they get older. It's viewed as an accomplishment and something to be honored. And here we make fun of that. No, we shouldn't. And I think President Trump has redefined the game and redefined age. You know, I'm not saying we're all going to be president, but if he can do, I mean, the most significant chapter of his life started when he was 69 years old, when he declared for president, which, oh, by the way, was 11 years ago today. 11 years ago today, he came down that escalator. Yep, and I was there. Has gone fast, hasn't it? He started running in 2015, not 2016, 2015, June 16th, 2015. Wow. And he changed everything. We'll be right back.
On June 26th, Supergirl arrives in theaters.
Let's go.
Your powers are going to kick in now.
That's very impressive. Get ready for a movie event unlike any other.
Superman sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth.
Get your tickets now for the most fun and fresh movie of the summer.
What are you going to do? Something stupid.
Now it's a party. DC's Supergirl, only in theaters June 26th. Get tickets now. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13.
When you're taking on the tough jobs, gear up with Venom Steel Gloves and defend your hands from grime, grease, and muck. They're 70% thicker than common disposable gloves with heavy-duty 2-layer nitrile protection, including a black outer layer and a white inner layer that provides chemical and rip resistance. Great for all your painting, plumbing, automotive, and DIY projects.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks.
That is fire. Whoa, that's good.
This might be the drink of the summer.
Okay, I like this one too. I'm rocking with it, okay.
Try it for yourself. Starbucks Refreshers Concentrates are coming home. Find them in the coffee aisle and make it yours.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Oil prices, barrel down to $75 a barrel. That is very low. I'm looking live at the Strait of Hormuz. Those are not tankers. Those are like little, I don't know what they are, fishing boats. I want to see the tankers. Now, oh boy, you know, I have a total ban on anything related to The View. The View bothers me. I don't care. You can say whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But what I do care about is when Fox News and too many others make what they say on The View 40% of their content. Can you believe what Whoopi Goldberg said? Yes, I actually can. I actually can believe. All right. She's gone crazy. Joy Behar and the rest. And it's a free country. If you want to have a dumb show like that, nobody really watches it. However, major exception. All right. We're going all in with The View. Why? J.D. Vance, okay, who has more IQ in his eyelash, in his thumbnail, than those women combined times a million. I mean, this has got to be, this is going to be excruciating. Excruciating for the fan. It's going to be great for me. Should we do it? All right, just a little bit. All right. Of course, where is she? She accuses him of racism. Is that what happens here? Do we have time? Hit it.
What did black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just, I know Emmett Till was the kid. No, I want to know what she's.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Your actual point.
So in a lot of the museums. There's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened. All kinds of stuff happened. And it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that. And also...
You're right. I totally forgot about slavery. I never even... you know what? Well, that's pretty wild. There's more to that. She couldn't think of anything, and the table had to help her. JD, great job.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hello. This is going to be great. All right. This is going to be good stuff. I am ready. Lay it on me. We got a big, nice chunk of J.D. Vance, who was, just real quick again, he's 41 years old, a vice president of the United States of America, just off the charts, brilliant guy. He had spent less than 2 years in the U.S. Senate, his first elective office, before being tapped by President Trump to be the vice president. And that's not, oh my gosh, he's so inexperienced. No, that's, oh my gosh, he's so smart. We need him. And he'd be a great president. It's just, people knew, smart people knew. He came from very humble roots, right? His mom obviously famously had a big time addiction issue, and there was all kinds of crazy stuff happening in the house, and very, very poor. But he overcame all that, joined the Marines, went to Iraq, came back, went to college, great, brilliant student, Yale Law School, venture capital, publishing. He wrote a wildly successful bestseller, Hillbilly Elegy, and that became like required reading and a real insight into an America that the elites refused to even acknowledge exists back in, this was 2010, 2011, I think. I remember when that book kind of became a big deal. All right, are we ready? So here's J.D. Vance on The View promoting his new book about his faith. All right, let's listen.
Seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that, and also to denigrate black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you, I mean, you know better.
Hey, do me a favor, Carlos. I want to take it from the top, all right? I want to hear that whole, because the earlier stuff is gold, and I want to enjoy it again. All right, so the ladies of The View.
What did black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just, I know Emmett Till was the kid. No, I want to know what she's. You don't know what I'm talking about. Your actual point.
So in a lot of the museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened. All kinds of stuff happened, and it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that, and also to denigrate black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you, I mean, you know better.
So Sonny, that was actually a very helpful intervention, because I think the story you're talking about is where, allegedly the administration is holding back the appointments of people based on skin color. I've seen the story.
I'm talking about a host of things. I'm talking about black history getting erased from public spaces. Black voter districts are being dismantled. Black leaders are being sidelined from our ranks. Where do Americans of color fit in this vision? Because it doesn't seem like we fit.
I think, Sonny, my view,
if I may, since October of last year, there's been something like 6,668 refugees allowed into the country. All but 3 were white South Africans.
So, first of all, I'm very skeptical of that number because we have a lot of different immigration pathways in the United States of America. But let me just address Whoopi's point. Look, first of all, you asked the question, and maybe you don't believe this coming from me, but I think everybody is welcome in our political coalition. Frankly, even if you didn't vote for us, everybody is welcome in our country so long as you're an American citizen with the duties and the legal obligations and rights to be here. But Whoopi, let me just give you an example of this. Okay, so you say that we're anti-minority or anti-black.
No, I didn't say that. I asked. See?
Well, okay, fine. Fair.
Don't start any stuff with me, man. Don't get me in trouble. Don't start no stuff with me. But
hey, stop for a second. What did she say? She said, why did you do that to communities of color? I mean, like, a reasonable takeaway is that the administration in Whoopi's mind is anti-communities of color. All right? Now she's going to... She's playing this game with the wrong guy. Keep going.
I interpreted your question, but let me answer your actual question there. What I'm saying, I think, okay, look at Washington, D.C. One of the most democratic and one of the blackest, by share of population, blackest cities in the United States of America, has seen a radical decrease in violent crimes and sexual assaults and in murders. We have tried to take the crime issue seriously, in part because we believe everybody, whether you're black or white or rich or poor, deserves to live in a safe neighborhood.
But why does the crime? Where does the crime step in? This is not about crime. This is about
women lost their jobs.
Rights. This is about human rights.
What you're saying is. We got to do more on the economy.
And Black history has been erased from public spaces.
Black history is not erased from public spaces.
We do have to get to Iran when we get back. There's some very important news
I'm telling you, we celebrate Black history. We celebrate all American history in this administration. You guys might be skeptical of this, but I promise you it's true.
I have to go to break. Anna, God, please, we have more with Vice President J.D. Vance when we come back.
Well, kind of useless, right? I mean, these women, they won't be convinced. Yeah, they had Black History Month at the White House. Now, what I think specifically, actually, what they are getting at is, I think the Pentagon, early in the administration, there was, I think, inappropriately so, what is the Department of Defense doing talking about Emmett Till, for crying out loud, right? There were some episodes in American history that are episodes in American history that may have nothing to do with, say, recruitment or fighting or any of that stuff. And some of these things were emphasizing our past where those things happen. Why do those things have to be throughout government, on websites all over the place? I think it's the only country in the world that spends a lot of time bad-mouthing itself, and they want the leaders to bad-mouth America. It goes on, right? After the commercial break, shoot, we got to get a little bit more of that. As the late, great Roger Ailes used to say, America has problems. America is not the problem, though. All right? America, let's see here. I want to get another one. They try to get him on his anti-Trump pass. I still remember. I get chills when I think about it. Rosanna Scotto and I were in that room when President Trump came down that escalator. And believe me, everybody said this was the dumbest thing. Oh, the next day, the Daily News, send in the clowns, and had a great big picture of now President Trump, then candidate Trump, as a clown on the front of the Daily News. Look at how pathetic this is. Look at how stupid. I knew it was different. I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. And I thought it in my brain. America doesn't win anymore. I'm like, damn. We can't even go to outer space in our own rockets. We don't have the space shuttle. We got to borrow old crap from the Russians. We got to hitch a ride to get into low Earth orbit. Why aren't we on the moon? Why aren't we on Mars? And that stuff is happening now. All right, J.D. Vance again on The View. Take next cut.
First of all, it's been well covered that I was a critic of Donald Trump back in 2015 and 2016. Now, obviously, I'm sitting here as the Vice President of the United States in the Trump administration. Well, Joy, a little humility, actually. I think that when you make predictions and those predictions turn out to be false, you got to ask yourself, well, what made me wrong about that? What did I not understand or not appreciate? For example, I said that Donald Trump's economic policies would not lead to wage growth. They did in the first term. That was actually a major thing. I said that we couldn't bring back any of those factory jobs because I kind of had given into this idea that those jobs were disappearing. But actually, Donald Trump, you saw a manufacturing boom during that administration. So there's a certain point. Let me just. So there's a certain point where you say, you know, I made predictions about this. I ended up being wrong. Yeah. And in politics and anything, I think it's important to just say, you know what? I got some things wrong, and I was wrong about him. He was. First of all, it's been well covered.
Yeah. You know, it's actually now they're all ganging up on him, and they won't let him speak, and that is kind of that's a tough position to be in, somewhat. And they don't want to hear the truth, and they don't want to have a real conversation. They don't want to let him talk, and they're kind of throwing everything at him. Yeah, what about that? Everybody in that audience just laughing at these nasty little asides from Joy. Who are these SEALs? Who do they find? Is that a cross-section of America in that studio? You know, they come from all over America, and they clap. They clap for this liberal crap. All right, Blanche on Capitol Hill to build support for AG bid. No problem there. Gosh, how dare he want that job? How dare, you know what? In America, ambition is not a bad word. It's not a bad word. All right, let's go back to our vice president here. Hit it.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act, the one that the president signed, the one that led to all these files that we're seeing, the emails. By the way, again, sorry, Joe, I do have to defend my boss. I know you guys don't always appreciate this, but, you know, one of the things you see in the Epstein emails is that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump, and that Donald Trump literally reported Jeffrey Epstein to the police.
Okay,
that's one of the things that came out of these files.
They were best friends for about a decade. And remember, he signed that Transparency Act under duress when some Republican women, congresswomen like Lauren Boebert, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, did not give in to his pressure of not signing. He brought Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room to pressure her into caving on not voting for that bill.
So let me respond to that. So
that's all true.
Let me respond to that. So number one is, yes, Donald Trump, and he said this, he knew Jeffrey Epstein back in the 1980s. He also threw Jeffrey Epstein out of his club when he found out he was a creep and reported him to the police. That's something that the media often misses when it reports the story. They tell the fact that they knew each other in the 80s, which the president himself admits. They ignore the fact that he narked on him to the police and led ultimately to Jeffrey Epstein's downfall.
How about that? Actually, I did not know that. I knew he threw him out of the club. I didn't know that. Did you know that about, I believe him. I did not know that. So it goes on like this, back and forth. I wish they would just, instead of let's see here. What else do we have here? We got the next one, please. Hit it.
Okay. So President Trump has called affordability a hoax. He said that, not me. He's pouring money into this ballroom of his and the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the Arch de Trump, I call it, and a White House cage match. All these things. Why is he doing them when you just, everybody knows that Americans are struggling? What is he spending all this money for?
Well, I got to defend the president on the hoax point. What the president said is the idea that Republicans caused the affordability problem is a hoax. And I think that's true. If you go back to the Biden administration, inflation got up to 9% under the Biden administration, okay? Right now it's at 3.5%. By the way, too high. We're doing everything that we can to bring it back down to 2.5%, which is where most people would like to see it. But we inherited an affordability problem. We're doing a lot to make it better. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot more work to do. But the president knows that a lot of Americans are struggling. In fact, he ran on that. He talked about it. And we've done some things and made some good progress on that point.
He just said he loves the inflation.
What he said, Anna, what he said is that he loves the fact that the inflation is going to come down when this war is over. That's what he said.
That's not what he said. That wasn't a direct. Are you his interpreter or are you his vice president? Come on.
Well, look. What the president said. People were asking about the inflation. They were asking about the affordability problem, which again is very real. And what he said is, I love the inflation because it's going to come down when the war is over. And now, again, we already see gas prices today, $4.06 a gallon, too high. but way down from where they were just a couple of weeks ago. So there's a lot we got to do, but I think that we're doing as much as we can. We're going to keep on working at it. And again, the American people are going to make their verdict, but
and lower than it was under Biden. All right. Biden was up to 550. Man, it is unfair. And I don't like, he's doing well, but it's almost an impossible environment. And they're just launching nasty asides. These aren't substantive questions. They aren't real questions. And he did very well, but it's discouraging how people really do believe all this crap. I hope he gets to talk about his book, which I'll be talking to him probably later this week. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, we are back. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. And if you don't mind, I want to do one more from The View. And this is, let's see. You know what I almost forgot about? The Venezuela stuff. Maduro. Maduro is in jail about 2 miles from me right now. Maduro and maybe his wife, too, awaiting trial, although there's talk about a plea. Are you ready? Let's go.
I would say fundamentally that one of the things I underappreciated about Donald Trump is that so many of the things that people said about him weren't actually true. Again, you talk about humility. Okay, so I see Donald Trump, I see a clip of him, or I see not even a clip of him, but reporting about something that he said, and I take it at face value. For example, let's just go back to one of the most controversial things Donald Trump said during the first term that I was wrong during the first campaign, is that I was led to believe by the stories. I read stories that said Donald Trump said that all Mexicans were rapists. He never said that. What he said is that the certain South American countries, Central American countries, were releasing criminals into our country, including Mexico. By the way, that was objectively true. So it's not so much Christians.
Fidel Castro did that in 1980 with the Mariel boat lift. There have been many, many journalists, including CNN, where you used to work and be my colleague, that have tried to find evidence of that. There is no evidence that Maduro was releasing people from insane asylums or jails like Fidel Castro did do. This was made up, and we just can't, accept it without pushing back.
Anna, we know that there were people who were released from prisons who were encouraged to come into the United States.
It wasn't the Mariel, Mr. Vice President. It wasn't where it was like a purposeful release, open up the jails, open up the insane asylums, and let people flood Florida. I've been through that in Miami.
If you go, it may not have been like Mariel, but if you go back to the caravans that were happening in 22, 23, we know that those things were funded. They were in some ways supported by the government.
There was absolutely
so I don't know how you define support or not support, but if people are encouraged to come into our country after having spent time in prison by their own governments, I think that's a problem.
Well, Vice President.
No, it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way. People have their beliefs and then they fall in love with them. The Tren de Aragua and Venezuela, yes, that happened. It happened. We saw it. Just talk to Lake and Riley's family. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. Mary, hello.
Yeah, Greg, you are so completely wrong about this deal. It's very, very sad how wrong you are.
What deal?
The Iran deal. It's so sad how wrong you are.
Oh, it's so sad. Wow. You feel sorry for me, Mary? You feel sorry for me. Well, thank you for your pity. But so how do you think it's a wrong deal?
Mexico was launching missiles into California.
Say what?
Wait
a second. What the? Okay. Slow down. Don't tell me about California. We're talking about a specific deal here. All right. What do you got?
If Mexico was launching missiles into California.
I know that. Look, we're talking about America right now, and we're talking about Iran not having nuclear weapons. You tell me what's wrong with this deal so far, as it's been told to me, and I believe President Trump. So I want you to be specific and not emotional and trying to make me, just say it. What's the problem?
Emotional. I'm not emotional.
Yeah, you are. You called in and you said you feel sorry for me. You feel sorry and you're sad for me because I'm totally wrong about this thing. So, all right, instead of trying to evoke a situation that is not happening, Mexico firing missiles into California, all right, that is not happening. And I understand. The Middle East is a different kind of neighborhood. It's a different kind of place. Why did we start bombing Iran? All right? concerns for us about their nuclear. Concerns for us about their nuclear. Not about their drones, not about their missiles, about their nuclear, although we do have concerns about the missiles. So what is it? What is wrong? What do you think we should do?
I think that we need to keep on bombing them into submission.
Very good. Very good. Very good. You know what? We're running out of targets over there. We are literally running out of things to bomb. All right? And if we have eliminated their nuclear capacity, which we have, if we have eliminated their Navy, which we have, if we have eliminated their Air Force, we have eliminated drastically the both the nuclear, obviously, but also the missile production and the drone production. I mean, wait, you believe in a forever war? You want this to go on longer? You want the?
Let me talk.
Excuse me? No. That's the way it works around here. Okay. So I just there you go. All right, Mary, you're wrong on this one, and a lot of other people. All right, a lot of other people. We don't have those. I want no nuclear, and I want no funding of terror, and we'll beat them up if they violate it. All right? Sorry, sorry. She feels sorry for me. No. This is the right thing.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?